Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly. Jay Kleinknecht here, along with head coach Scott Langer. Coach, 3 out of 4 possible points on the weekend. A 5-4 shootout loss Friday in Bismarck that had Pitters, Belisle, Brandon, and Sladek all scoring. You're up 4-2 with under 4 minutes to play. Walk us through the end of regulation.
Well, they pulled their goalie, and they ended up getting a goal that was basically on the goal line that had some eyes and kind of sparked them. And then obviously we were put into a situation where we had to kill some penalties, and we self-destructed a little bit. I think they had a little bit of help there with not allowing us to play even man hockey. But then we got to go in overtime and kill a 4-minute minor or a double minor. So that took a lot out of us. And they were really good in the shootout, and they were able to get to salvage that second point.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you mentioned it, puck that had eyes, because, man, I was down on that end, and I didn't see any space. Somehow or another, they're able to get through a very, very narrow area. And, again, from a very tight-angled shot, too. The minor, the double minor that you guys killed, which you did a great job of, but that makes it especially hard because you're not able to really get anything offensive going on because you've got so much time in your own zone that you're left with a minute, essentially, of overtime to try to put something together offensively. So at that point, are you just kind of hoping for a shootout, or do you actually think, okay, well, we can still do this in the in overtime?
We went for it. In that last minute, but it's quite a few of the guys that are killing penalties for us are the guys that create a lot of offense. So there just wasn't much left in the tank, and at that point, we were happy to go to a shootout, and we just weren't very good at it.
All right. Well, Saturday, Wings score first, which has happened often and with positive results. A goal from Kennedy, Murphy with the tip in from Picorni shot. I actually thought Picorni had scored it. And then Belisle with the empty netter to seal the deal. Guys came out pretty hot on Saturday night, maybe looking for a little redemption. What are your thoughts on Saturday night, Coach?
We knew we let one get away in their building. We were very determined. You could tell the guys were real determined to get those points back at home, and we did. We got out to a good start, and 5-on-5, I thought our team was very good. There wasn't a whole lot of panic from anybody on this side when we were playing 5-on-5, but you get in the situation again where you're getting put down. It certainly allows your team to come in and get some life, and we were put down 3-on-5, and sure enough they scored. But our guys, we stuck with it. We didn't get down. We came back out and we answered there, and I thought all around it was a good game, and we didn't let them have a sniff there at the end like they did the night before.
Right. Wanted to touch on specialty teams. I know it's something that you've talked about previously, is that it's always evolving, but it seems to be trending in the right direction right now with the Wings going 2 of 6 on the power play over the weekend, and the kill being tested 11 times and only allowing the 1. And again, that was a 2-man disadvantage or a 5-on-3 for them. So you got to feel pretty good, I would think, about the way specialty teams is going.
Yeah, and it's why we haven't really lost in regulation since the showcase. I think is that because of our specialty teams are starting to improve and get to the level they need to be at. They're different, especially when you look at the style of the game, I guess you could say, what was called over the weekend. There's a lot of questionable calls that some guys make, and you have to be ready to kill them, or you have to be ready to jump out there on the power play, and you got to make it count.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to actually touch on that too, because both of these games to me felt very, gritty, but the momentum and flow of the game was interrupted often, it felt like, and with different conferences and talking about where the faceoff needs to be, and just a lot of things that, and I honestly felt like maybe that was even part of the problem on Friday night, is that the momentum that you guys have going in the final 3 minutes, it just seemed like there were so many delays and so many pauses and things that it just kind of made everything feel a little lumpy and didn't have the flow. I kind of thought the same thing, honestly, on Saturday night too, that just, again, not a lot of momentum. And I think that was because of a lot of the delays and stuff. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's got to be somewhat frustrating to play a game like that doesn't have a lot of pace to it.
Well, It is, from a coach's side, we get paid for game management.
Mm-hmm.
Our big job is to be able to manage a game. So I think you have to look at it from that side too. When you have a crew out there that's maybe not managing the game to keep two good teams getting up and down the ice. There's always times that we deserve penalties and they deserve penalties, but I think you hit it dead on. When there's so many conferences and we're not managing the game, at some point you have to say, enough's enough and keep the game moving. And it was like that for both nights. There was a lot of unnecessary meetings and trying to figure stuff out on the ice between the three referees. And, I don't think that's fun for the fans. And both teams get quite a few in attendance to watch two good teams play. So, but, again, it's on to next week, and we took 3 out of 4. We certainly would have liked to take the 4 out of 4, but we're going to learn from our mistakes, and we're going to move on.
Yeah. You mentioned, of course, that as the coaches, it's your job to kind of manage the game and stuff. How about the players? Because it seems like the players can get a little out of sync in those situations too.
Well, they get frustrated.
Yeah.
At this age group, as much as you want to, talk about keeping your emotions and really trying to work on that from our side to help the players through it, it's just that they get frustrated and they start to and both teams, you could see it.
Mm-hmm.
You could see the players just get disinterested and a little frustrated, and when things aren't going even for both teams, you're going to see that. And then when you have guys that become unfocused because of things that they can't control, they're not playing the game.
Yeah.
So it's, it tends to turn the game into the wrong direction.
Okay. Well, like you said, moving forward, I wanted to talk about a handful of different players, and not singling anybody out necessarily, but there's certain guys on this team that really seem like they're stepping up and kind of coming into their own. A guy like Connor Beatty, who just seems to really like to hit and is a real spark plug. A lot of hustle and stuff from him. Brad Belisle. Mitch Macklett. There's a handful of guys on this team that really seem to be kind of taking things to the next level and adding to already an explosive offense with the veterans and so on. And you mentioned it too, that in weeks past, we're about at the Christmas break, you want these guys to be playing the best that they are. Are you happy with the way that you see this team developing?
Yes. The new guys that are around here have grasped a lot of the principles and concepts and the beliefs that we have here, and they're doing a great job. And it's making us a deep team, not just on the ice, off the ice. And I think that's why we're getting the results that we're getting right now. And those guys just continue to get better. You talk about Connor Beatty. There was no doubt in my mind that Connor Beatty was the best player on the ice on Friday night. There wasn't a guy close. Now some of those pucks went in. He might have had 4.
Yeah.
But boy, he was on a different level. And then I thought he brought it again on Saturday night, where he was just physical and all over the puck and around the net. And, he's been a guy that just coming along week by week. You just see daily improvements for him, and it's awesome, you know. And Brad's just a true vet. Brad Belisle's just a true vet, and he just loves to play. He has fun doing it, and he brings a huge element to this team.
There's a lot of guys, it seems like, too, that are bringing energy, playing with passion. You see that with guys like Macklett and Beatty and so on. And I think that's contagious, too, especially from the younger group or the newer guys, as you mentioned. So that's awesome. Wanted to talk a little bit. Of course, we're a home and home with Bismarck last week, a home and home ahead with Brookings. I wanted to talk a little bit about the team playing on the road as well as they do, and then coming home and playing well too. And is that, because sometimes a team can have a difficult time, and especially we've talked about the difficult road trips, the long ones and so on. But even just a 2.5 hour or 3 hour trip, they seem to come off the bus and ready to play. Is that a preparation thing, do you think, or is it a character thing? Maybe a combination of all of it.
I would have to say yes. I think it's both.
Yeah.
It's players that truly want to be successful and dominate are going to find a way. This team just so far early in the season, since my time here, has been the best group of guys able to put away some of the sideshow stuff and some of the stuff that you deal with travel, and able to get off the bus and just go after the 2 points. And they've done it with energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the past, we've had some teams focus, but we just weren't able to get the legs going, you know, on the road. So, you know, so far so good here with, and I think you have to talk about the leadership group too.
Yeah.
And those guys being ready to play, and the other guys just kind of follow along. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a team so far that's able to play both at home and away.
Which is great to see, because as I mentioned, sometimes there are teams that have a difficulty on the road or maybe at home even. Wings are, of course, now 9-2-1-1. Austin has 23 points on the top of the division, with the Wings in second with 20, then Minot with 20. Bismarck 15, Minnesota with 13, and Brookings with 6. As I mentioned, Coach O, home and home with a kind of struggling Brookings team right now coming up. What do you expect from Brookings, and how do you, and we've kind of touched on this in the past too, but how do you keep them from looking past a team that is struggling in the standings? Because as you've commented, they pay attention.
Yeah, well, we had to do that a little bit with Chippewa
a
couple weeks ago. So, you know, the thing though with Brookings is they always give us a good game. They're always big and heavy, and their goaltending seems to be very good against us. Yeah, they're going through some of their ups and downs over there, but I fully expect Coach Mantha to have his team ready to go against us. I mean, I'm not sure we're in a division where you can look past anybody.
Right.
Teams just get hot at certain times, and you don't want them to get hot against you. And you know, it only takes one game to get a team rolling, and we don't want that to happen against us. So, you know, we're going to focus on us, on what we do, how we execute, and I think if we can take care of our own game and what we need to do, I think we'll be okay.
Excellent. All right, well, Friday night in Brookings, folks, puck drop is at 7:05, and we can watch the game on Buffalo Wings and Rings and then in Aberdeen here or at hockeytv.com. Listen on 94.1 The Rock or hubcityradio.com or the Rock app. And back to action here at the ODI Center on Saturday. And we'll go through those specifics in just a bit. Going to have a couple of players joining us here shortly. Coach, I generally ask the players some kind of silly questions, and I had one that I wanted to ask you. Given your affinity for Swedish Fish, for example, and everyone kind of knows the Slim Jims, what, if you could have one food for the rest of your life, only one, you had to eat it every day, what would it be?
Steak.
Steak. Nice answer. All right. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking some time to talk with us a little bit, and we will catch up with a couple players here. Again, thanks for coming on, and best of luck coming up against Brookings this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we'll return after these words from our sponsor with a couple of players on this week's Wings Weekly.
Let's make a taco. No, seriously. Start with a tortilla, soft tortilla. Warm it, kiss it. Don't kiss it. Chicken? How about tequila lime chicken? Now we're cooking. Slice this, peel that, snip those. Salsa? Verde. Cheese? Cotija. Oh, forgot to mention. Guac. That's better. See, anyone can make a taco, but we're not anyone. We're Qdoba, and these are knockout tacos. Qdoba Mexican Eats. Choose flavor.
Welcome back to Wings Weekly, folks. Jay Klein Connect with you, and as promised, a couple of players joining me, Jonathan Bendorf of Yardsville, New Jersey, and Sean Kennedy of Banesville, Ontario, Canada. So, boys, thanks for taking some time to talk with us a little bit here on Wings Weekly.
No problem.
The last few shows that we've had, the guys have had come in on their day off, but you guys had to work today, huh?
Yeah.
Had a little. I was gonna actually ask Coach. Forgot about that. What the thought process kind of was as far as let guys rest, and then today having you skate. So let's start though with you guys telling us a little bit about home. Like what's your family? You know, do you have brothers and sisters? Maybe some of them have played sports or do play sports, or big town, small town, that kind of thing. I would imagine on the East Coast in New Jersey, you're probably a pretty metropolitan area, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of people live around me. You know, I have a mom and dad and older brother, older sister. You know, they're both out of college. So, you know, a dog, Carson Wentz, named after Carson Wentz. But, yeah, living on the East Coast, kind of used to being around a lot of people. So it's definitely a different feel out here. But, you know, it's fun. I have a good time.
Sean, how about your hometown?
Well, I'm from Banesville. It's a pretty small town, population probably 2,000, I'd say. It's just outside the border of Quebec.
Okay.
So I have a brother and a sister. They're both older. And my brother used to play hockey, but didn't really go anywhere.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good to know. Still just trying to not be distracted by the hats, which is awesome. But, anyway, moving forward here, folks, your guys' weekend, again, 3 points out of the possible 4. Kind of a tough one up there in Brookings, but you came out strong. And you got a 4-2 lead with 3 minutes left and moving ahead into a big win on Saturday night. What do you take away from the weekend as a whole? Do you guys feel pretty good about the way the team played?
I mean, definitely. I thought both games we played pretty well. We just didn't finish off that game on Friday, and I think we definitely learned from it. And on Saturday, our third period, I think, was our best period of the night. And so I definitely think we learned from Friday night, and we were able to finish off the job on Saturday. So overall, it was a pretty good weekend. Yeah. Anytime you can get 3 out of 4 points is pretty good.
Without a doubt. Sean, what were your thoughts?
Pretty much the same thing as John said. But I feel like we bounced back pretty well coming from a loss, and we used it as motivation to play hard and get the dub.
I was talking with Coach Langer a little bit about the flow of those games. Both of them, to me, felt, even I was getting frustrated with how many pauses there were in conferences about, with the linesmen trying to figure out where the, face-off should be and all these different things that really seemed to take away the flow of the game. And Coach Langer said, the guys get frustrated and kind of flustered with that. Did it affect you guys at all?
Personally, I don't think it affected us. We just kept talking, kept motivated. We knew the rest were they're not on their A game. So we just tried to stay focused as much as possible and just keep going out there.
Right on.
Yeah, definitely. It gets annoying after a little bit when, the first couple maybe are okay, but after it keeps happening, every once in a while it gets a little annoying. But I think, we have some really good leaders on this team that make sure we stay focused when we have, breaks like that. So
good call, like that. All right. Sean, I want to go to you next. I have never seen someone take off their own helmet to fight someone. And I had to ask, there's different types of hockey fights. There's the kind like we saw in Chippewa Falls with Murph and Dusick where they get up and give each other a tap, and that's a good one. But you seem genuinely mad when a week ago here at the Odie Ice Center. And that was not one of those friendly little tillies. What got you so hot?
Yeah, for sure. It was just a hit. I found I got blindsided. It was kind of a dirty hit, and it was straight to the head because I'm not that small of a guy. So I kind of just snapped and just went at him. And all the guys make fun of me for wearing my fishbowl. So now they kind of have bragging rights.
Well, like I said, I've never seen anybody take the cage or the bowl off to go before, so that was pretty exciting. Jonathan, you are known around town to be involved with a lot of different activities and organizations, a humanitarian, and even winning, awards in the Wings, but also as the league for the work that you do off the ice. What motivates you to be out there in the community like that?
I don't know. It just makes me feel good. This town definitely has given me a lot, so I like to give back to them. And I do a lot of volunteering at Aspire, so like adults with special needs and stuff. And something that really kind of touches me because my sister, she went to school for that. And, she's been involved with, she has a job right now, with teaching the kids with special needs. So, that's kind of been close to my family, for a while. So when I found out my billet mom works there, so when I found out about that, I kind of just jumped right on it.
Awesome. Sean, how about you? Have you had an opportunity to be out in the community much? I know the Wings as an organization like to be, involved with different things, whether it's at the BMX track or maybe playing pool at the senior center with, some of the people. Or have you had a chance to do that? I know it's pretty early in the season, but have you been out around at all?
Mostly just with team functions and helping out with the community there, but individually not yet. Yeah. Still getting used to the town, getting to know places where I could go. So
right. Well, Bendy's a vet, so I'll go keep it with Sean here for a second. I wanted because you just mentioned you're still trying to kind of get the lay of the land, so to speak. What are your thoughts on Aberdeen so far? and not only the people, but as a whole, especially coming from a smaller town.
Yeah, I think Aberdeen's really good. I love it here. I love playing here. The fans are wild. It's like you're a pro. So it's pretty cool. And everyone around town knows you. So it's like you're a superstar. So it's pretty cool for me coming from a small town where not everyone knows each other as well as here. So, yeah.
Right on. And Bendy, like I say, you're a vet. You spent some time here last year and so on. When you newer guys or young guys, rookies in some cases not, but they come in to this community, what do you tell them about it?
I pretty much just tell them, be ready to play your game. It's definitely going to be every night at the OD is insane, and we feed off that energy. So, I just tell them, be ready to play because it's going to be exciting every game we play here.
Right on. I was kind of thinking that maybe there'd be like a list of, okay, well, if you need your car worked on, you go here. If you need tacos, here's where you go for that.
Well,
and if you want the
Qdoba, we get a Qdoba.
Right on. Well, they're of course our sponsor too, so kind of like that. All right. How about pet peeves? Do you guys have pet peeves? And if so, what is the number one pet peeve?
Oh, mine is definitely littering. I can't stand it. If I see anything on the floor, I have to pick it up, throw it out.
Nice. Good to know.
I'm with Benny on that one. Littering's a huge no for me. I just don't like it at all. I'm not a fan of it.
Right on.
So
there you go. Keeping things green. All right. I asked Coach Langer this too because he's got a way of certain foods that like Slim Jims, Swedish fish. He just loves them, and it's kind of funny how well he's known for certain foods that he likes. What about you guys? If you had one food that you had to eat or only could eat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Are we talking like real food or like snacks?
It could be anything. I don't care if it's candy even. It could be, but you can only have it for the rest of your life.
I think I'd have to go with Chick-fil-A sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Definitely.
Being from Canada, and poutines are a big thing, and I'm like 10 minutes away from the border. I'm gonna have to go with poutines for sure. It's a little Quebec thing.
Nice.
Those are pretty good.
Suppose people know what poutine is. Tell the folks what poutine is in case they don't know.
Poutine is fries with gravy and cheese curds. It's pretty simple and
it's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah,
It's amazing.
For sure have to try it if you haven't.
Let's see. All right, folks. Moving ahead a little bit here. Brookings this weekend. You got a home and home with them. Obviously, they're having a little bit of difficulty right now. They're having a tough time winning games and keeping people at bay because there's a lot of people are scoring a lot of goals on them. Let's put it that way. But like Coach Langer said, at this league and this level and in this division, there isn't anybody that you can really look past because everybody can beat everybody on any given night. Is that a fear of your guys maybe in the locker room that you got guys going, this is going to be a cakewalk there at the bottom of the division. They've only, or do you think that everybody in this locker room is going to be ready to go and treat this at the same as if they were number 1 or number 6 in the division?
I mean, it's always kind of a little bit of a concern, but, we have a good group of guys in here and, we're going to be ready. No matter who we're playing, we're going to be ready to play. It doesn't really matter, at the end of the day. Everyone's going to be ready, just from practice today, it was a kind of a fun but battle day. So, just getting ready for the weekend, we'll definitely be ready to play.
John, you echo that, I would imagine?
Yeah, same exact thing that Bendy said. Our leaders here, they prepare us not to take it easy on anyone. The Null is a really good league. Everyone can beat anyone on any given night, like you said.
Yeah. All right. Halloween's coming up on Wednesday. You guys got any big Halloween plans? Costumes other than the mini sombreros?
I haven't planned it out yet. I don't know if John has. Yeah.
No, just a little pumpkin carving with my billets either today or tomorrow.
Nice.
But nothing too special planned for Halloween.
All right. Onto that, or adding on to that, what's your favorite holiday? You Christmas guy? Thanksgiving? What's your favorite time?
Christmas.
Christmas?
Yeah, same thing, obviously. Just being with the family and just having a good time. I like winter, too. I'm born in the winter, born in February, so kind of a winter baby.
Right on. Friday, November 2nd at Brookings Blizzard. Puck drop at 7:05. Watch the game at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Aberdeen or on hockeytv.com. Listen on 94.1 The Rock, hubcityradio.com, or the Rock app. Saturday, November 3rd, here at the ODI Center. Brookings again, and it's college night, so show a valid college ID at the door and receive a discounted general admission ticket. BAE Systems is the game sponsor. Post-game party with the Wings at Buffalo Wings and Rings. $10 general admission tickets are on sale now at any of the 4 Sea Express locations in Aberdeen with additional purchase. Doors open for all Wings home games at 5:30, and the puck always drops at 7:15. For all the latest news and information, visit aberdeenwings.com or follow us on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. So once again, Jonathan Bendorf and Sean Kennedy, thanks for coming on the show. And folks, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for this week's Wings Weekly.